Welcome back to Egan Brooks' Psychology channel. Today we're on the couch, and moving forward, that's probably going to be where we're sitting. But today we're going to get into why you keep making the same mistake. Why do these patterns keep playing out, and why do I keep doing things that are actually a disservice to me? I think a lot of the time something happens, a negative thing in our life, and we're unsure of why we would have done that in the first place. Sometimes we eat that cheat meal, we don't have the courage to ask the girl out, we don't study for the tests. All these things are happening in our life and we can't point to why we would do that because it obviously does not serve us. So I'm going to explain some mechanics of the mind, some of the subconscious programming that is in you to help give you a better insight into what is driving these actions and shift you into a more conscious state so you can start to take more control of these things happening in your life. A very relatable example is eating and eating cheat meals and eating meals that give us this temporary comfort, but then later we regret it, we feel bad, why do we do that? Sometimes we eat it, we're not even thinking, what are we doing? And we're not sure how this happened and why we were able to not prioritize our goals and our ideas of what healthy eating looks like or what balanced eating looks like. So there's a few concepts I want to introduce today. The first one being self-sabotage. Now, self-sabotage is essentially when you take action that is misaligned to your goals. It is when you do something that you truly don't want to do. And often this can happen unconsciously. Let's say you're prioritizing disciplined eating and then you eat that cheat meal, but you did it and you feel like you didn't even mean to, you didn't want to. I'll give you some comfort in knowing that often this can happen unconsciously. We're not even given the opportunity in our brain to think about it. It can happen automatically because we are so programmed to conform to these limiting beliefs. So what does that mean, conform to those limiting beliefs? Now, when we're raised and through our experiences, we come to have a belief system. It's a bunch of beliefs and models, mental models about how we see the world, how we see ourselves. Now, often deep in our subconscious is these things called limiting beliefs. They are ideas about who we are, and they're limiting because they make us feel like we're not good enough. They make us feel like we need to do things to prove our worth. And what happens is our mind, through this thing called the RAS, the reticular activating system, it wants to create congruence, basically similarity between what it thinks about itself and the outer world. So it needs the internal state to match the external state. It needs to be matched and aligned. And that can be problematic because unfortunately, when we have this internal direction of I want to take goals, I want to do the thing, I want to improve my diet, I want to improve my health. On the flip side, on the outside, we start taking these actions, but we have these deep-seated beliefs that we aren't good enough. We're always going to be the fat kid because we've gone through those experiences that have created those beliefs. So unconsciously, because 95% of our daily actions happen without us realizing it, they happen subconsciously and automatically, we start conforming to these programs and these belief systems. So we eat the cheat meal because deep down we don't think we're good enough. And we're unable to use that 5% of control we have every day to prioritize the healthy eating. This isn't to excuse responsibility, it's to give insight into the mechanisms of your mind and help you become aware that it takes time to rewire new beliefs, create new habits that change these underlying beliefs so that you can stop self-sabotaging. It's about making you more conscious and aware of your goals and also shifting these beliefs to new ones. But it can be a lengthy process, and one of the most important things is to try and become more conscious of your patterns. So when you keep making the same mistakes, you don't study for the test, you don't eat the healthy meals, you don't exercise, you sleep in, all of these things which contradict your goals. You self-sabotage. Let me give you the comfort of knowing that it is not what you truly wanted, but it is what you did. And our mission now is to become more conscious of where we want to get to and create alignment between the internal drive we have to create a new version of ourselves and the outer world, which is our actions and behaviors that reflect who we want to be inside. And it can be hard because it feels like our brain is working against us because our brain finds comfort in the familiarity of the pain And what I mean by that is because we're eating foods that make us feel bad about ourselves, that is the story and that is the script that our brain has been wired into us for a long period of time. So it wants to keep identifying with that. Our brain wants to keep identifying with that pain and that dissatisfaction we have. So we keep making poor choices that make us feel bad about ourselves. And it can be difficult to rewire, shift these beliefs. But the first step is to become conscious, start to create self-awareness. And that is tracking your thoughts and your feelings when you do things and reflect on how it's making you feel. Self-awareness is about bringing to yourself an awareness of what is happening to you, your choices, your thoughts, your feelings. So you need to become more conscious. So having a journal every day, reflecting on your goals, having habit trackers. What are the 3 things every day you need to do, the non-negotiables? Keeping it simple to start can shift these unconscious patterns to more conscious, and slowly over time, you'll be giving yourself a choice in these moments. Do I want to eat the thing? And sometimes we aren't able to use our self-talk to overcome it and we fall into it, but it's about becoming more conscious, taking more control, and slowly over time, as we take more action, improve our habits, we start to wire in new beliefs, remove these old beliefs, and then self-sabotage becomes non-existent because we're able to create a new version of ourselves. We have broken the habit of being ourselves and we have created a new version that does not have these limiting beliefs in the programming. If you love this episode, like and subscribe. Plenty more to come, so if you want to recommend any episodes, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to get through some questions, so any specific questions around mindset, psychology, self-improvement, feel free to drop it. Thank you for your support. Love always. Egan Psychology.